If you love the look of the Fujifilm X-T5, then you're going to love this retro cage from SmallRig. Today we are taking a look at what I consider the best cage for the Fujifilm X-T5, and full disclosure, SmallRig sent me this cage for review. However, everything that I say in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. So there are pretty much two places where you can attach accessories on your Fujifilm camera, either on the bottom screw hole or on the top shoe mount of your camera. However, when it comes to accessory, if they get heavy, it gets kind of dangerous to attach them directly to your camera. If you want to add accessories such as monitor, handlers, top handlers, you are typically gonna need a cage. And a cage is custom made for a specific camera. So this cage that we're going to talk about today is made for the X-T5 and the X-T5 only. So first of all, this cage just looks amazing. It adds to the retro look of the Fujifilm X-T5 and the X series cameras. You can see some scratch finishing on the metal, some leather on the handle part and also on the top handle that you can see right here. A beautiful and very comfortable shutter release. And also a shoe mount cover that acts as a bubble level that just adds to the retro look of the cage. So in terms of look, this cage pretty much has everything for you to look at it and just say, wow. Now this cage, while being compact, comes with tons of features. First of all, it has 3 points of attach on the bottom, left and right of the cage and on your camera to make sure that your camera will not move at all while using it and make sure that it's safe and will not fall. Second, it adds a deeper and thicker grip to the X-T5 to make sure that you are comfortable using it, whether it's as it is or if you add accessory to it. Third, the new shutter release that they added basically makes it more comfortable with the thicker grip to press the shutter button of the X-T5. That way, because your hand position changes, you now move from a smaller grip to a bigger grip, so your index will basically move from here to here, and it just makes it more comfortable to work with. Then we also have a top handle. Now this top handle is more geared toward videographers, I would say, that want to have low angles using the X-T5, but you can also use it for photography. If you want to get low, you don't have to carry it at the bottom of your camera like this. You can just grab the top handle and have one hand on the shutter. And this particularly goes well with the screen of the X-T5 that comes out that way. So that way you don't have to actually go down to look at your screen. You can just look at your screen from the upper position, grab the top handle and just press the shutter release when needed to take a picture. Now one thing that I would add about this grip is that oftentimes other grips are fully metallic, right? However, this grip comes with a surface that makes it so that even if your hands get sweaty, your grip is still safe and secure and it is not affected by sweaty hands, right? So this is a huge plus compared to other grips out there, and this is an advantage of this retro look cage. Now the cage also comes with clamps for your HDMI and USB-C cable. Now this is much appreciated because, as you know, the X-T5 comes with a micro HDMI port, and if you put too much pressure on this port, it might get damaged. The clamp is here to actually take the stress of the port instead of it, and that way you can make sure that your cable is steady, safe, and that it will not get damaged over time. Now one more thing that is important to notice is that the bottom plate of this cage is an Arc Swiss compatible plate. So that means that it can go on your tripods or on your gimbals without the necessity to screw anything in. You just put it there and it will be directly compatible with it. So that makes it really useful and easy to switch from gimbal to tripod and vice versa. This is something that you will appreciate if you are on set or if you want to switch from tripod to handheld or whatever you want to do, and it will save you tons of time. Now, of course, I described to you now all the built-in features of this cage, but this cage comes with tons of expansion opportunity. And whether you want to add a monitor, an extra handler, or any accessories that you can think of, this cage should help you do that while keeping the retro look of the Fujifilm X series that we like. Alright, so now let's see how we can install this cage on our X-T5. All you have to do is to slide your X-T5 within your cage, then first screw the bottom screw, add on the left and the right lock that you can screw with the little tool that is magnetically attached to your cage on the bottom of it. Then all you have to do is to put your shoe mount cover and your release shutter button just by adding 2 extra screws with it. Now when you add the shutter release, make sure that you can still turn on and off the camera, because if it's too tight you might not be able to do that anymore. So just make sure that it's not too tight on your shutter button of the X-T5. And just like that, under 2 minutes, your Fujifilm X-T5 is ready to welcome any accessories that you need for your videography or photography needs. Alright, so who is that cage made for? If you want to use your Fujifilm X-T5 for videography, if you want to have an extra grip, if you want to add some extra weight to it, and have a top handler if you want to get low for some shots, while keeping the retro look of the Fujifilm X series, then you should definitely have a look at this cage. Personally, I'm using it with some extra accessories that I will describe in another video, so make sure that you subscribe to know more about them. But I also already use this cage while doing photography only without the top handle. And what I can say is that this cage as it is not extremely heavy. Yes, it adds about 300 grams more to the setup, but it's more than light enough for me to walk around in the streets, and it has an extra grip that I can say is really comfortable and makes it really easy to use. And yes, I know that this is not made for street photography, but all I'm saying is that you don't necessarily need to remove the cage all the time to switch from photography to videography. The cage itself is pretty light and is comfortable enough for me to go from one case to another. So at this price point, you get an extremely scalable, good-looking cage that adds to the retro aspect of the Fujifilm X-T5. And if you're in need of an extremely scalable, comfortable and good-looking case, I think that this is the best one on the market at the moment. Let me know if you have any question about it in the comments. Thank you again to SmallRig for sending this for me to review. And if you've missed it, check out this video right here where I review the Fujifilm X-T5 after 1 month of use. See you there.